And so it gives me great pleasure to announce our newest Senior Vice President of Operations, Amanda Mitchell. The applause in the boardroom was deafening. I stood up, smoothing down my navy pencil skirt, heart pounding as CEO David Thompson gestured for me to join him at the podium. 6 years of 60-hour weeks, countless presentations, and innovative strategy plans had led to this moment. At 32, I was the youngest SVP in the company's history. Thank you, everyone, I began, gripping the edges of the podium. When I started here as a junior analyst, the glass boardroom doors burst open with a bang that made several executives jump. My heart stopped. There, in a floral dress that looked like it had been stolen from a 1950s housewife, stood my mother-in-law, Patricia. She was carrying a large gift basket wrapped in cellophane, topped with an enormous pink bow. "Oh, don't mind me," she trilled, tottering forward in her kitten heels. I just couldn't miss my dear daughter-in-law's big moment. The room fell silent. David Thompson's smile froze on his face as Patricia clip-clopped her way to the front, her perfectly sprayed silver hair not moving an inch. I caught sight of my husband Michael in the back row, his face pale with horror. "Patricia," I managed through clenched teeth. "What a surprise." "Well, of course I'm here. When Michael mentioned your little promotion ceremony, I knew I had to bring you something special." She thrust the basket forward, nearly hitting my stomach with it. "Go on, open it." I could feel every eye in the room on me. The board members, the department heads, the regional directors, all watching as my mother-in-law hijacked what should have been the proudest moment of my career. With trembling fingers, I pulled off the pink bow and unwrapped the cellophane. Inside was a collection of cleaning supplies, premium dish soap, fancy sponges, organic surface cleaner, and what appeared to be a designer feather duster with a crystal-encrusted handle. "Since you're going to be so busy with your new position," Patricia announced loudly, "I thought you might need some help keeping up with your real responsibilities." She turned to address the room like she was giving her own speech. "After all, a woman's true workplace is in the home, isn't it?" Someone coughed. I heard a sharp intake of breath from somewhere to my left. David Thompson's coffee cup paused halfway to his lips. "You know what they say," Patricia continued, warming to her theme, "he can't have it all. Michael tells me he can't remember the last time he had a home-cooked meal. And the state of your house," she shuddered dramatically. "Well, I was over last week, and I have to say, that's enough, Mom." Michael had finally found his voice and was starting to stand. But something in me had snapped. 6 years of Patricia's passive-aggressive comments about my career. 6 years of her showing up unannounced to help with housework while making snide remarks about working women. 6 years of her trying to convince Michael that a wife's place was in the home. "Actually, Patricia," I said, my voice surprisingly steady, "your timing is perfect." I turned to David Thompson. "Mr. Thompson, would you mind if I use the presentation screen for a moment?" He gestured his approval, looking curious. I stepped to the laptop connected to the large display screen, my fingers flying over the keyboard. Thank God for my habit of over-preparing. I'd researched everything about the company while preparing for this role, including its history. "Patricia worked here herself, didn't you?" I said conversationally as I typed. "Back in the 80s. The color drained from her face. "That was a long time ago," she said quickly. "Ancient history." "Oh, but it's such an interesting story." The personnel file appeared on the screen behind me. "Patricia Thompson, any relation, Mr. CEO?" David Thompson's eyes widened. "My father was CEO then," he said slowly. "I was just a kid, but I remember." "Wait, you're that Patricia? It says here," I continued, scanning the document, "that you were hired as a junior accountant in 1982. Quite progressive for the time, wasn't it? A married woman with a career?" Patricia clutched her pearls. "That's confidential information." "Actually, it's not. These records were digitized last year. But what's really interesting is what happened in 1984. I clicked to the next page. It seems there was an incident with the company books. Something about creative accounting and missing funds. The room had gone so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Patricia's face had turned the color of old pasta. "You were asked to resign quietly," I read, "to avoid embarrassment to the company and to avoid charges being pressed." I looked up at her. "Is that when you decided a woman's place was in the home, Patricia? When you realized you couldn't hack it in the business world?" I never," she sputtered. Or was it when you realized that other women might succeed where you failed? Is that why you've spent the last 6 years trying to sabotage my career?" Michael was staring at his mother, his expression a mix of shock and dawning comprehension. The board members were whispering among themselves, several looking at Patricia with recognition. "I remember now," David Thompson said, setting down his coffee cup. "Dad talked about it for years. The accountant who nearly cost us the Miller contract, over $500,000 had to be." "This is slander," Patricia screeched, backing toward the door. "I'll sue. I'll—" "No, you won't," I said calmly, "because everything I just showed is documented fact. Just like it's a fact that I earned this promotion through hard work and dedication. Just like it's a fact that I'm damned good at my job." I picked up the feather duster from her gift basket and held it out to her. "Maybe you should take this. Sounds like you have some skeletons in your closet that need dusting off." The door slammed behind her so hard that the boardroom windows rattled. For a moment, there was absolute silence. Then David Thompson started to laugh. "Well," he said, wiping his eyes, "I think we made the right choice for SVP. Anyone who can handle a situation like that with such grace under pressure is exactly what we need." He raised his coffee cup in a toast. "To Amanda Mitchell, our new senior vice president, and apparently our new head of corporate intelligence." The room erupted in laughter and applause, real applause this time. As I returned to the podium to finish my speech, I caught Michael's eye. He gave me a small nod, a mixture of pride and apology in his expression. We'd have a lot to talk about later, but for now, I had a promotion to celebrate. Just before I started speaking again, I noticed Patricia's gift basket still sitting on the conference table. Somehow, I didn't think I'd be needing those cleaning supplies after all. The rest of the workday was a blur of congratulations, handshakes, and knowing smiles. By 5 o'clock, my office, my new corner office with its floor-to-ceiling windows, was filled with flower arrangements from colleagues. All except one bouquet had been removed to the conference room. Patricia's apology roses, which had arrived an hour after her dramatic exit. "Amanda." Michael stood in my doorway, his tie loosened and hair slightly disheveled from running his hands through it, a nervous habit I'd noticed the day we met. "Can we talk?" I gestured to the leather chairs facing my desk, a small part of me enjoying that my husband now had to schedule time to see me at work. He sat down, staring at his hands. "I had no idea," he began. "About Mom's past here, about the accounting scandal. None of it." "I know," I said softly. "You were what, 10 when it happened?" 8. He looked up, his brown eyes troubled. "She always told us she quit to be a better mother, that she chose family over career. It was her favorite story, how she realized what really mattered in life. And you never questioned it." "She's my mother, Amanda." His phone buzzed. He glanced at it and winced. "That's her. Again, she's called 12 times since she left." I leaned back in my chair, my executive chair. I thought with a small thrill. "And what is she saying?" "That you've humiliated her, that you exposed private information, that she's going to talk to her lawyer." He ran his hands through his hair again. "She's demanding I come over right now. Are you going to?" Before he could answer, there was a knock at my door. David Thompson stood there, looking surprisingly informal with his suit jacket draped over one arm. "Sorry to interrupt," he said, though his slight smile suggested he wasn't sorry at all. "Amanda, do you have a moment? And, Mr. Mitchell, you might want to hear this too." Michael started to stand, but David waved him back down, settling into the other chair. "I just got off the phone with my father. Interesting conversation." He pulled out his phone, scrolling through some notes. "It seems your mother-in-law's creative accounting was a bit more serious than even the old personnel file suggested." My heart skipped. "What do you mean?" "Dad says they caught her trying to embezzle nearly $800,000 through a series of falsified vendor accounts. The only reason charges weren't pressed was that she agreed to resign immediately and sign an NDA." He looked at Michael. "Which she's now violated rather spectacularly by showing up here today." Michael's face had gone pale again. She stole money." "Tried to," David corrected. "The auditors caught it in time. But here's where it gets interesting." He leaned forward, his expression intent. "She's been calling our legal department all afternoon, threatening to sue for defamation and improper disclosure of personnel records. But I had authorization to access those files, I said quickly. As SVP. David held up a hand, smiling. Oh, we know, but her calls prompted our legal team to review her old NDA. Turns out, there was a clause. If she ever attempted to interfere with company business or personnel in any way, the full story could be made public. Which she did, I said slowly, by disrupting an executive promotion ceremony. Exactly. David stood up, straightening his tie. I just thought you should know, in case she tries to cause any more drama. Our legal team has already drafted a reminder letter about her NDA obligations. Should be arriving at her house. He checked his watch. Right about now. After David left, Michael and I sat in silence for a moment. His phone buzzed again. Another call from Patricia. He declined it. I keep thinking about all those Sunday dinners, he said finally. All those times she lectured us about integrity and family values. About how career women were destroying the traditional family, and the whole time she was just bitter about her own failures, I finished, and trying to make sure other women failed too. Michael stood up abruptly. I need to go talk to her. Michael. Not to take her side, he said quickly, but to tell her I know the truth now, and that she needs to stop. All of it, the comments about your career, the surprise visits to check on the house, the guilt trips about not having children yet. He straightened his shoulders. It has to end. I came around the desk and hugged him, breathing in his familiar scent. Want me to come with you? He shook his head. No, this is something I need to do alone. Besides, he smiled slightly, you probably have SDP things to do. Just one, I said, picking up my phone as it buzzed with a calendar reminder. Dinner with the board at Le Cirque at 7. Apparently it's tradition for new executives. Le Cirque. Michael's smile widened. Isn't that where we had our first date? When you told me your 5-year career plan? And you didn't run screaming? Yes, I kissed him quickly. Go talk to your mother. I'll see you at home later. After he left, I walked to the window, looking out over the city as the late afternoon sun painted the buildings in gold. On my desk, my new business cards gleamed. Amanda Mitchell, Senior Vice President of Operations. No feather duster in sight. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I opened it to find a photo, Patricia's face, blotchy with tears, holding up what must be the legal letter from the company. Below it was a message. You'll regret this. I smiled, took a screenshot, and forwarded it to David Thompson and the legal department. Then I blocked the number, straightened my jacket, and picked up my briefcase. I had a board dinner to attend, and an impressive career ahead of me. Let Patricia stew in her bitterness. I had better things to do than worry about cleaning supplies. I was halfway through reviewing quarterly projections the next morning when my office door flew open. Patricia stood there, mascara streaked down her face, waving a crumpled paper. How dared you, she shrieked. Hadn't lawyers threatened me? After everything I've done for you. I noticed my assistant, Emma, frantically calling security behind Patricia's back. Everything you've done for me? I repeated calmly. Like trying to sabotage my career, or embarrassing me in front of the entire board. I was trying to help you. She stormed forward, slamming the legal letter on my desk. Someone had to show you what you're throwing away. Your marriage, your chance at a family. The only thing being thrown away, Michael's voice cut in sharply, is your relationship with us, Mom. Patricia whirled around. Michael stood in the doorway, his expression hard. Behind him, I could see David Thompson and 2 security guards approaching. Michael. Patricia's voice shifted instantly to a wounded whimper. Darling, you don't understand. I was protecting you. These career women, they don't care about family. Look what she's done to you. No home-cooked meals, no children, no embezzlement. Michael stepped into the office. No fraud. No lying to her family for 30 years. Patricia staggered back as if she'd been slapped. That's not. I talked to Dad last night, Michael continued. He told me everything. How you didn't choose family over career. You were forced to resign or face criminal charges. How you swore him to secrecy, claiming you were protecting the children from shame. His voice cracked slightly. How you made him feel guilty for continuing his own career while you sacrificed everything. Your father wasn't supposed to. He promised. He's done keeping your secrets, Mom. We all are. David Thompson cleared his throat from the doorway. Mrs. Mitchell, you're in violation of both your NDA and this building's security protocols. These officers will escort you out. Wait, Patricia's eyes were wild. You can't? I have rights. I'll go to the media. I'll tell everyone how this company discriminates against traditional values. Traditional values. I stood up, my voice quiet but firm. Like honesty? Integrity? Supporting your family? I pulled up a document on my computer screen. This quarter's projections show we'll create 300 new jobs. Our expanded parental leave policy covers both mothers and fathers. The daycare center I'm proposing for the West Wing will help dozens of working parents. I walked around my desk to face her. Those are traditional values, Patricia. Not lying, not stealing, and not trying to force other women to live small lives because you couldn't handle living large. The security guards stepped forward. Patricia looked frantically between them, Michael and me. Michael, please, she tried one last time. She's turned you against me. No, Mom. Michael moved to stand beside me. You did that all on your own. As the guards led her out, her sobs echoing down the hallway, David Thompson turned to me with a grin. Daycare center in the West Wing? I shrugged. Just an idea I was developing. Studies show on-site childcare improves employee retention by 40%. Have a proposal on my desk by next week. He clapped Michael on the shoulder. You've got quite a wife here, son. I know, Michael smiled at me. She's everything Mom was afraid of being, successful, honest, and still able to have a family. After everyone left, Michael perched on the edge of my desk. Speaking of family, he pulled an envelope from his jacket. I was going to wait until tonight, but after all this, well, open it. Inside was a photo of a gorgeous Victorian house, recently renovated, according to the real estate listing attached. It's 3 blocks from here, Michael said softly. Has a home office for my architectural consulting. A huge kitchen for those cooking lessons we talked about taking together. And he hesitated, 4 bedrooms. You know, in case we want to fill them someday, on our own timeline. Tears pricked my eyes. It's perfect. Like you. He kissed me softly. I'm so proud of you, Amanda. And I'm sorry about Mom. Don't be. I glanced at the cleaning supplies, still sitting in their basket in the corner. Actually, I have an idea for those. The next day, a delivery arrived at the local women's shelter, cleaning supplies, plus a generous check to fund their job training program. The card read simply, for women choosing their own path, keep reaching higher. 1 month later, I sat in my office reviewing applications for the company's new mentorship program for female executives. On my desk, next to my family photo, Michael and me in front of our new house, sat a small crystal figurine. A gift from the board, it was a woman climbing a mountain, reaching for the stars. I picked it up, smiling at how it caught the light. No dusting required.